Hello friends, good day to everyone and welcome to the channel Cloud with Ravi. In today's session, I thought of discussing about network security groups, but I thought it would be better if we discuss more on virtual network subnets and IP addressing mainly so that we can get a clear picture on how IP addressing is done in virtual networks. What is an IP address? As you may know, an IP address is a unique address that identifies a device on internet or a local network. It stands for Internet Protocol. Just like we have identification in our countries, like social security number or Aadhaar number, in the same way, devices should have their own identification on networks. So on any network, identification of the devices is given by IP addresses. If you see on the screen, IP address is 32-bit number. If you see, and it is a human readable format. We see 192.0.2.0. So this is a human readable format, but machines does not read in this format. They read in binary values, which are zeros and ones. IP address contains 4 octets, which are separated by dot. You can see here. Excuse me. So we have 4 octets, which are separated by a dot. So the minimum values starts from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 for 8 zeros to the maximum starts for all ones. And I can give you another example. Let me check that here. 1 minute. Okay. Okay, if you see the screen now, so in these 8 values, each value of the each bit, you can see it here. So it is, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 values here. So for value of each would be 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2. So it goes to 8 values, means 0 to 2 power 7. So how the value is calculated? It is just the multiples of 2. For example, 2 power 0 is 1. 2 power 1 is 2. It is multiples of 2. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128. Okay. So for example, if you see the IP address of, okay, I think I messed it up. Okay, if you see here, IP address is 192.0.2.1. So for if we want to get the value of 1, this first value should be 1 and rest all should be 0. So if you see here, the value is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. And for 2, the second value should be 1 and the rest values should be zeros. So this should be 1 and rest all should be 0. So if you see in this value, it is showing in that way. Okay. Let me clear that up so that it will be kind of clear to you people. Okay. Let me put it here. 160, 128, 64, 32, 16.8.4.2.1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, if you see 0, so all the values should be 0. 2, we got it. The second value should be 2. First value should be 1 for 1. For 192, if you see, if we add these two, 128 plus 64, the value comes to 192. So here, this one should be 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So this is how we represent an IP addresses. For easy understanding, I have another screenshot. Let me show it to you. Okay. And paste it here. You can see the so here you you see for 0, all zeros, only the first one would be 1. For 1, first one. For example, 4, uh, fourth one should be 1 and the stall should be 0. For oh, excuse me, for 5, so 4 plus 1 is 5. So 4 plus 1 is 5, rest should be 0. In the similar way, for 8, 8 already is there, so 1 and rest all 0. For 9, 8 plus 1, 8 plus 1 is 9, so 1, 0, 0, 1. And this is how the IP addressing is done. And let's see another interesting topic. So we got to know about octets, how they are read by the computers. And now in the same IP address, we have a network ID and a host ID. So an IP address is associated with a subnet mask. Subnet mask is used to distinguish between network ID and host ID. If let me pull up one IP configuration. Let me take one example. If you go to any computer in command prompt, enter IP config, you will find the screenshot, which I'm going to show it to you. Okay. So if you see here, change the color. Okay. So if you see here, 255.255.255.0 is the subnet mask, and the IP address is 192.168.1.30. And I have another screenshot as well. It would be good if we use that as well. Okay, if you see the screen, if you see this object mask, it says like 255.255.255.0. Here, the last object has the values changes changing like 0 to 255, but 0 and 255 are the network ID and the broadcast ID. 0 and 255, they won't take those numbers. So the last value will keep on changing. For example, if you have 10 devices in this particular IP address range, because these three is the network mask and this is the host ID. So the only host ID would be changing off for these 10 devices. So IP address will range from If the administrator want to assign the IP address to those devices, he will give it from 1 to 0 to 255. But 0 and 255, they are not usable. So they will give like 1 to 254. They give you like 110 or 120 or 130 or 125 or 145 or 35. So depending upon the requirement, they keep on assigning those values to new devices which is within this network. And for example, if the subnet mask is 255.255.0.0, in this case, the host network ID is the first two octets and the host ID is next two octets. So in this particular network, when ID address any new devices comes up, so they will give not only this value changes, even this value also changes. There are two possibilities. So for any device which is coming up, the new, for example, this is the IP address 192.168. This is, let's say, okay, 192.168.0.0. If the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, the last value will be this last value will be changing from 0 to 255. In case if this okay, in case if this subnet mask is 255.255.0 okay, other dot dot 0.0, this value will be changing and this value will be changing. So any devices, it could be 1.2, any new devices, or 2.2 or 3.2. So here we can give 255 values and here 255 values. So if you, so for this particular network, we can give 256 into 256, it will come around some 65,000 change IP addresses. But when the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, it can give only these 255 values because network ID changed to only 2 octets. Here we can increase the network size here. So this is how the IP addressing is done. And one more thing, as we know, what is a virtual network? An Azure Virtual Network is a representation of your own network in cloud. It is a logical isolation of the Azure cloud dedicated to your subscription. And what is a subnet? Subnet enables you to segment the virtual network into one or more subnetworks and allocates a portion of virtual network addresses space to each subnet. You can deploy Azure resources on specific subnet. Just like the traditional network, subnet allows you to segment your VNet address space into segments that are appropriate for the organizational internal network. This also improves address allocation efficiency. You can secure resources within the subnet using network security groups. For example, let me show. Okay, now let me take a new file. For example, this is a virtual network. Okay, this is a virtual network, and these three are subnets. Subnet 1, Subnet 2, Subnet 3. So when we deploy any application, one of the basic reason for this segmentation is like if we want, if we are installing any web application, we will deploy them it on one of the subnet, and we deploy the database servers on different subnet, and some other applications which are critical but not open to public on different subnets. But for web application, for if I'm using some banking application, when we open any mobile application like a Citibank or ICICI Bank, when you open the app, that one is open to public. So when you log in, it start accessing from web, but we can't directly access the database servers because all the information is provided is secured in other database servers. In case if it is open to public, hackers would come and there will be a lot of problems arise, right? Everyone will steal the data or do all the malfunctions and hack the accounts, and everything can be done. All the details and balances of everyone would be open to the public. So that is the reason the database servers are not open to public. They will be able to communicate with between themselves using network security groups and the rules to communicate. Only the web servers are open to public. So when the IP addressing is done, for example, I am using 10.0.0.4/16. This is the complete CIDR range of your virtual network. For isolating this this is a logical isolating of your devices within a network that is nothing but subnet. So what we will do, this is 16, so only the two subnets would be changing. So here we'll give 10.0.1.0/24, 10.0.2.0/24, and 10.3.0./24. This means only the any devices which are created on these networks, they will have IP addresses 10.0.1. Maybe it is 1 or 1 to 255. Here, this ranges from 10.0.2./24 is there. So it will go from 2.1 to 255, here 3.255. So each devices have a different IP addresses ranges as per their subnet addresses assigned, range assigned. This is the main reason for grouping of the resources in subnets. I hope everything is clear. In case if you have any queries or any doubts, please comment in the comment section. I will help to answer them. Thank you and you have a good day ahead. Bye bye.